Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. She lived with her wicked stepmother and two stepsisters. They treated Cinderella horribly. One day, they were invited for a grand ball in the king's palace. But Cinderella's stepmother would not let her go. They went off to the ball, leaving Cinderella alone. Cinderella felt sad and began to cry. Suddenly, a fairy godmother appeared and said,
"Don't cry, Cinderella. I will send you to the ball."
Cinderella was sad. She said,
"I don't have a gown to wear for the ball."
The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and changed Cinderella's old clothes into a beautiful new gown. The fairy godmother then touched Cinderella's feet with the magic wand, and she had beautiful glass slippers. The fairy godmother found 6 mice playing near a pumpkin in the kitchen. She touched them with her magic wand, and they became 4 shiny black horses and 2 coachmen and golden coach. Cinderella happily set off for the ball. Before leaving, the fairy godmother said,
"Cinderella, this magic will only last until midnight. You must be back by then."
When Cinderella entered the palace, everyone was struck by her beauty. The handsome prince saw her and fell in love with her. The prince danced with her all night, and nobody recognized the beautiful dancer. Cinderella was so happy that she forgot what the fairy godmother had said. As the clock started to strike 12, Cinderella remembered and she rushed home. One of her glass slippers came off, but Cinderella ran on. She reached home just as the clock struck 12. Her coach turned back into a pumpkin, the horses into mice, and her fine ball gown into rags. Her stepmother and stepsisters reached home shortly after that. They were talking about the beautiful lady who had been dancing with the prince. The prince, who was in love, wanted to find out who the beautiful girl was, but he did not even know her name. He found the glass slipper that had come off Cinderella's foot. The prince said,
"The lady whose foot fits this slipper will be the one I marry."
The next day, the prince took the glass slipper to all the houses in the kingdom. All the women in the kingdom tried the slipper, but it would not fit any of them. Cinderella's stepsisters also tried on the little glass slipper. They tried to squeeze their feet into the slipper. Cinderella's stepmother would not let her try the slipper on, but the prince saw her and said,
"Let her also try on the slipper."
The slipper fit her perfectly. The prince recognized her from the ball. He married Cinderella, and together they lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, there lived an old sow and 3 little pigs. Soon they were off to seek their fortune. The first met a man with a bundle of straw and said to him,
Please, man, give me that straw to build me a house, which the man did.
And the little pig built a house with it. Presently came along a wolf and knocked at the door and said,
Little pig, let me come in.
to which the pig answered,
No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
The wolf then answered to that,
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
So he huffed and he puffed and he blew his house in and he ate up the little pig. The second little pig met a man with a bundle of sticks and said,
Please, man, give me those sticks to build a house, which the man did.
And the pig built his house. Then along came the wolf and said,
Little pig, let me come in.
The pig answered,
No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
said the wolf.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, and at last he blew the house down and he ate up the little pig. The third little pig met a man with a load of bricks and said,
Please, man, give me those bricks to build a house with.
So the man gave him the bricks and he built his house with them. So the wolf came, as he did, to the other little pigs and said,
Little pig, let me come in.
No, no, by the hair of my chinny chin chin,
said the pig.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in,
said the wolf. Well, he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he huffed. But he could not get the house down. So the little piggy lived safe and sound inside his little brick house. Once upon a time, in a house that overlooked a beautiful garden, lived a childless couple. They prayed to God every day to bless them with a child. One day, God answered their prayer. They were going to have a baby. Their days passed in happiness, but alas, the wife fell ill. She would eat nothing, and the husband was worried. He tried to tempt her with many good things, but she refused everything.
But you must eat something, my dear,
he begged her.
There's a herb called Rapunzel in the garden next door. I will feel better if I can eat that,
she said. The husband's heart sank. This garden was owned by a wicked witch, but he loved his wife. He decided to go into the garden when the witch was away. He had managed to pluck the herb, but as he was about to leave, the wicked witch came back.
You thief! How dare you enter my garden?
She screamed. He begged,
Please don't curse me. If my wife doesn't eat this herb, she will die. She's going to have a baby and is very ill.
The witch finally said.
I will let you go on one condition. You will give me the baby after it's born.
The poor man had to agree. He took the herb to his wife, and she soon recovered and gave birth to a beautiful girl. But as agreed, the witch came to take the baby away. She took baby Rapunzel and locked her in a high tower. The tower had no doors or stairs. There was only a window on top. The only person whom Rapunzel ever saw was the wicked witch. She grew up to become beautiful, have a wonderful voice, and her golden hair grew very long. Every day, the wicked witch came to the tower and shouted,
Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your hair!
Rapunzel would drop her long braided hair through the window. The witch used the hair as a rope to climb into the tower. One day, a handsome prince was passing by and heard her sing and fell in love with her voice. The prince saw the witch climbing up the tower using Rapunzel's hair. The next day, the prince too called out to Rapunzel. "Let down your hair," he said. The prince climbed to the top of the tower. Alas! The witch soon discovered the prince with Rapunzel. She pushed him from the tower onto a thorny bush, blinding him. She banished Rapunzel into the desert. After many years passed, the blind prince wandered into the same desert and heard Rapunzel singing. Following the sound, he found her. They hugged each other in joy. Tears of happiness rolled down Rapunzel's cheek and fell on the prince's eyes, and he could see again. The prince took Rapunzel to his kingdom, and they lived happily ever after.